Good evening, Santa Monica, and welcome to your Santa Monica City Council meeting for Tuesday, December 8th, 2020. And this will be a regular meeting of the council, even though it's mostly ceremonial. We chose to start at the regular time, so this wouldn't become a special meeting, and thereby it gives you, members of the public, more opportunity to speak during a regular meeting than you have during a special meeting. We will, as usual, since we're meeting by teleconference, be taking that public input by telephone. That phone number is 310-458-8423. And at this point, a bit of a moment here, but I'm going to ask the clerk for the last time to take the roll of the City Council as currently constituted.
Councilmember McCowan.
Here.
Councilmember Himmelrich.
Here.
Councilmember Davis.
Here.
Councilmember Winter.
Here.
Councilmember Hara.
Present.
And Mayor McKeown.
Here, so 6 of us are present. Mayor Pro Tem O'Day won't be with us tonight, I believe, but we do have 6 people to vote on the one very important item we have before us. If the clerk would call item 2, please.
Item 2A is adoption of resolution accepting of official canvass and official statement of votes cast for the consolidated general municipal election held on November 3rd, 2020, and declaring the results thereof. The results are as follows. For the City Council for the 4-year term, you have the winners were Phil Brock, Gleam Olivia Davis, Christine Parra, and Oscar De La Torre. For the 2-year term, Kristen McCowan won that seat. For the Santa Monica Malibu Unified School District, John Keene, Maria Leon Vasquez, and Jen Smith. For the Santa Monica Community College District Board, Susan Amanoff, Margaret Perez Quiones, and Rob Greenstein Rader. And then for the Santa Monica Rent Control Board, it's Caroline DeRosas and Anastasia Foster. The 2 measures, Measure SM was approved by the voters with 71.88% of the vote, and Measure AB was approved by the voters with 60.18% of the vote. Those are the results, and I'm available for any questions.
Well, Denise, before we go to questions, I hope your entire staff is watching or listening, because I just really, as mayor, want to say thank you for the job you've done. It was a very unusual and difficult year to conduct an election for all the obvious reasons, with coronavirus, with economic things, with fewer polling places, with more votes coming in by mail. I know that you had all the usual work to do and then some. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you and your entire staff for conducting this election for the city of Santa Monica. We appreciate it. It's one of the most important things that we do every couple of years, and you pulled it off despite the difficulties. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Council members, have any questions for the staff? I see some waves of congratulations to the city clerk's staff, and of course, I think we all join in that, but I don't see any questions. So I believe that before us is a resolution adopting the canvass as has been reported to us. And at this point, I'll entertain a motion to adopt that resolution.
Mayor, I will move that we adopt the resolution.
Second.
All right, so that's been moved by Councilmember Winter and seconded by Councilmember Himmelrich. Is there any further discussion on adoption of the resolution? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Hara.
Yes.
Councilmember Winter.
Yes.
Councilmember Davis.
Yes.
Councilmember Himmelrich.
Yes.
Councilmember McCowan.
Yes.
And Mayor McKeown.
Yes, so that resolution is adopted by a unanimous 6-0 vote of the City Council. And at this point, you know, as mayor, I've never had a gavel, and I don't have a wand. And I turn the meeting over to the city clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to ask that everyone turn off their cameras, please, as we will begin the installation of the new officers. And I'm going to be administering the oath of office for the Santa Monica College Board. So could the new trustees, Susan Amanoff, Margaret Perez Quiones, and Rob Greenstein Rader. I'm sorry, Rob. Okay, I'm going to ask you all to please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and then state your name.
I, Margaret Susan Amanoff,
I, Rob Rader,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly
swear
affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I
I
will
will
support the
Constitution of the United
Constitution
States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of
California,
California,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully
the duties
discharge the duties
of a Santa Monica Community College Board member
of a Santa Monica Community College
Board member
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, you three. Could you please sign the oath so that I can see you sign it? Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much for all you've done. Thanks, Denise.
You're welcome.
Thanks for running a great election.
No
Great.
problem. Could you turn off your cameras now? And I'm now going to ask, we're going to now be giving the oath of office to the Santa Monica Malibu Unified School District Board members. So John Keene, Maria Leon Vasquez, and Jen Smith.
I'll be showing you on the screen.
There we go. Okay. I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and then state your name.
I, Maria Leon Vasquez,
John, I think you're frozen, but we can still hear you. Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
solemnly swear
That I will-
or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will
that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of a Santa Monica Malibu School Board member
of a Santa Monica Malibu School Board member
of the school board member
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
to my ability.
Congratulations. Now, could you all sign so that I can see that? I like that, Jen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Denise.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now turn off your cameras. I'm now going to I'm going to give the oath of office to the Santa Monica Rent Control Board. So Caroline and Anastasia. I see you, Anastasia. Is Caroline available? There you go. Okay. Okay, ladies. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and then state your names.
I, Carolyn Terosas,
I, Anastasia Foster,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that
Do
I will
sol-
support the
affirm
Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of a Santa Monica Rent Control Board member
of the Santa Monica Rent Control Board member
of a Santa Monica Rent Control Board member
according to the best of my ability.
according to the
according
best
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, ladies. Now please sign your oath so that I can see that.
Thank you. And I do honor of my late father, Don Roark.
Thank you.
And I want to thank my husband for all of his support.
Thank you, ladies. Congratulations. Now, if you could turn off your cameras. And now I'm going to give the administration of oath to the Santa Monica City Council members. So Phil Brock, Glenn Davis, Christine Parra, Oscar De La Torre, and Kristen McCowan. And I think Oscar is having some issues. Is Oscar?
I'll see if I can figure out what's happening with Oscar.
Okay. You all look lovely.
As do you, Denise.
I know, I never see people anymore. Beautiful families you all have there.
Told that Oscar's logging in now, so it should be just a moment.
Okay. Okay. Oh, wow. Kristen, you have the whole family there.
Yeah, we all live together, so it's doable, right?
Makes it easier. And Phil, it's good to see you healthy again.
There's still a Band-Aid, but it's getting much better.
Okay, Oscar, come on.
Christine, Kristen, and Gleam, I'm honored to be able to work with you. Thank you.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you. The same.
Cool.
Thank you, Phil. Likewise.
And I'm happy that Denise gets to guide us tonight. I'm trying to fill in the few seconds here while we wait.
A dead time, right?
Yeah. Oscar joined. There we go.
Oscar, do you see where to unmute yourself? There you go. And your video
There
is
you
where
go.
that-
Hi,
you're
Oscar.
Hey everyone, I'm having trouble. I'm having some technical difficulties with the blue jeans, but anyway.
But we see you. Okay, so I'm going to ask you all to raise your right hand and repeat after me. So say I, and then state your name individually.
Hi.
I'm Christine.
Joe Brown.
Olivia Davis.
Oscar, go ahead.
Yeah, I Oscar De La Torre.
Okay. Do solemnly swear or affirm
Do solemnly swear or
affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of a Santa Monica City Council member
of a Santa Monica City Council member
to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Now I'm going to ask that you all sign your oath and let me see that you signed it. Good. And so we will be sending the official one through DocuSign for you to sign, and that'll be the official document. Thank you, Oscar. Well, congratulations again. And so now I'm going to ask Sue and Kevin to return so that we can convene the new city council. And where did Kristen go? There you go.
I'm here just moving locations. Otherwise, the kids are going to be here for the whole thing.
Okay. So now I'm going to do the roll call of the new city council. Councilmember McCowan. I know she was just here.
Here.
Okay. Councilmember Himmelrich.
Here.
Councilmember Davis.
Here.
Councilmember Parra.
Here.
Councilmember De La Torre.
Here.
Councilmember Brock.
Here.
And Councilmember McKeown.
Here.
Okay. So now we're going to move to the election of the mayor for the ensuing 2 years. So I'm now going to open the floor to nominations. Do we have any nominations?
Well, this is Councilmember McKeown, and we've survived 2020, but the pandemic's not over. The economic collapse still needs to be fixed. As mayor for the last year, I guess I've got some battle scars and the recognition that continuity and leadership and experience are going to be important in helping get Santa Monica out of this. I'm very much aware that Councilmember Himmelrich wants to be mayor. I also feel it's important that the mayor at this point have some experience. And now that I've stepped down, there's only one council member who has been even mayor pro tem before. So I'm going to propose that Councilmember Himmelrich be mayor for the second year of the 2-year term, that Councilmember Davis, with the experience, be mayor for this next year, with Councilmember Himmelrich as the mayor pro tem for the first year, and Councilmember McGowan as mayor pro tem for the second year.
Madam Clerk, this is interim city attorney. I believe Kristen had a statement she wanted to make before we went into the discussion and nominations.
I do. Sorry, everyone. Earlier today, out of concern that I may have inadvertently violated the Brown Act, I called the interim city attorney and advised him regarding certain conversations I have had with other council members regarding the selection of a mayor and mayor pro tem. In accordance with the interim city attorney's advice, I am now disclosing these conversations on the record in advance of the council's discussion and vote. Over the last week, in separate individual conversations, I told 3 other council persons that I would be willing to serve as mayor pro tem, something that I have also stated publicly. Over the last week, in separate individual conversations, I also told those same council persons that I would be supporting Stu Himmelrich to serve as mayor, something that I also have stated publicly. I wanted to be sure that these conversations were disclosed publicly prior to us proceeding with the public discussion and vote on the mayor and mayor pro tem.
With that, Denise, I believe you can proceed.
I'm flattered by your suggestion, Kevin. As I've told you before, I've been on the council for 6 years. I will only serve as mayor if I can serve for 2 years. And so I will have to decline your nomination for the second year.
And
so, Councilmember McKeown, did you want to propose a different nomination?
Well, having attempted to include Councilmember Himmelrich, who has rejected the offer, I'll amend my I'll amend the motion to nominate Councilmember Davis for mayor and Councilmember McCowan for mayor pro tem.
Are there any other nominations? Yes, Councilmember Parra.
Hi, I'd like to nominate Sue Himmelrich for mayor and Brock for pro tem.
I'd like to second that.
Okay, second's not necessary, but okay.
And
Kristen?
This is Kristen. I would like to nominate Sue Himmelrich for mayor for 2 years. I believe we can take these votes separately with a different nomination period. Is that correct?
Yes, I was going to say I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it separately.
So we're still open on the pro tem, Denise. So we're just voting on mayor now. Is that right?
So now we're just going to do, yeah. So now we're just going to do mayor. So we have.
Hey, Marty, give me the charger.
So I'm going. Okay. So what we do is what we have is we have a nomination from Councilmember McKeown, and it's for Glenn Davis to be the mayor. And then we have a nomination from Councilmember Para for Councilmember Hemmerich, as well as we have it from, Kristen McCowan. Councilmember McCowan. So what we have is we have a 2-year period. We have a 2-year for Councilmember Davis, and then we have 2-year for, and I'm sorry, Christine, or Councilmember Parr, can you let me know, you said Sue for 2 years and Brock for the mayor pro tem, is that what that was?
That is correct.
Okay, so when I call your...
City Clerk, before we proceed, I just want to make sure that the record will show that I did make the proposal that Sue Himmelrich be mayor the second year with Liam Davis mayor the first year.
Yes.
I want to make sure that shows up in the minutes.
Yes, that will be the first, yes. But because she declined, we're going to move on. So what I'm going to ask you is, do you want Sue Himmelrich for 2 years, or do you want Glenn Davis? So you just let me know which name that you choose, okay? Okay, so let's start off. Councilmember Brock.
Yeah, wait, I'm confused now as well.
Okay, so the choices
But I heard my name.
Okay, so the choices are, we're only doing the mayor. The choices are Councilmember Davis for 2 years or Councilmember Hemmerich for 2 years.
I'll vote for Sue Himmelrich. Wait a minute, Oscar has his hand up, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I have another I want to nominate Phil Brock for mayor.
Okay. Okay, so now we have 3 choices. Okay, so we're going to start off. Councilmember Brock.
Phil Brock.
Councilmember De La Torre.
Phil Brock.
Councilmember Para.
Phil Brock.
Councilmember Davis.
Davis.
Councilmember Hemmerich.
Himmelrich.
Councilmember McCowan.
Himmelrich.
Councilmember McKeown.
Liam Davis.
Okay, so there was no 4 votes there. We're going to go round 2. Nominations, please.
I'd like to
nominate
years.
Davis for the first year and Sue Himmelrich for the second year and see if she'll accept it this time.
And I will again decline. Thank you.
Okay, the next nomination.
I'll nominate Sue Himmelrich for 2 years.
Any other nominations? Yes, Oscar.
Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, I want to nominate Sue Himmelrich for 1 year and Kristen McCowan for the second year.
Thank you, Oscar. That's flattering, but I decline that because if anything, will consider it supporting, but I would prefer to be there.
Okay, so what we have is, and Councilmember McKeown.
Yeah.
Councilmember Hemmerich declined.
I understand the decline, so I'm going to make another nomination. But first, it appears there are so many microphones on. The audio is quite warped. So maybe we could all remember to mute ourselves when we're not actually speaking. That would make it easier for the public to hear what we're saying. I will nominate Glenn Davis for 2 years.
Okay, so we have Councilmember Davis for 2 years, and we have Councilmember Hemmerich for 2 years. Are there any other nominations? Councilmember Brock. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Your mic is not on. You're muted.
Sorry about that. I nominate myself for 1 year and Oscar De La Torre for 1 year.
Okay, any other nominations? Okay, so the options are Davis for 2 years, Hemmerich for 2 years, Brock for 1 year, and De La Torre for a 2nd year. Okay? So we're going to go through this. Councilmember McCowan.
Himmelrich.
Councilmember Hemmerich.
Ulrich.
Councilmember Davis.
Davis.
Councilmember Para.
Brock and De La Torre.
Councilmember De La Torre.
Brock and De La Torre.
Councilmember Brock.
Brock and De La Torre.
Councilmember McKeown.
Davis.
Okay. There is no winner, so round 3. Nominations.
This is Councilmember McGill. Once again, I will attempt to nominate Glenn Davis for the 1st year and Sue Himmelrich for the 2nd year.
And I once again find that, Kevin, and I do appreciate that. I do believe that the 6 years I've served on the council qualify me to be the mayor today.
Councilmember McCowan, you had your hand up. Do you have a nomination?
I did, and if like Mayor McHugh said, if everyone could mute themselves when they're not speaking, there's so much feedback. I would like to nominate Sue Himmelrich for 2 years.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Councilmember De La Torre.
Yes, I'd like to nominate Sue Himmelrich for 1 year and Phil Brock for the 2nd year.
And Oscar, again, I will decline that. I'm sorry, I will not do this for 1 year. I think it's going to be too difficult. I'm sorry, I need to say 2 years. Sorry. So I will decline your offer. Thank you.
Okay. Councilmember Brock.
I will support Sue Himmelrich for mayor for a 2-year term.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to get to that. Councilmember McKeown.
I will again nominate Glenn Davis for the 2 years.
Okay. All right. So we have Councilmember Davis for 2 years. We have Councilmember Hemmerich for 2 years. And is Councilmember Brock for 2 years? Is that correct, Oscar? No?
No,
Because Sue declined.
Yeah, that's why, because Sue declined. So I'm pulling that nomination.
Okay. So we have Glenn Davis for 2 years, and we have Sue Hemmelrich for 2 years. Okay, let's go ahead. Councilmember Brock.
Sue Himmelrich.
Councilmember De La Torre.
Sue Himmelrich.
Councilmember Para.
Sue Himmelrich.
Councilmember Davis. Glenn, we can't hear you. Councilmember Davis.
Sorry, the unmute just remuted. Sorry, Davis. I apologize.
Councilmember Hemmerich.
Himmelrich.
Councilmember McCowan.
Davis.
And Councilmember McKeown and Councilmember McCowan.
Himmelrich.
And now Councilmember McKeown. Okay. So Hemmelrich is now the mayor for 2 years. Congratulations.
Thank you. And thank you all for supporting me. I really appreciate it. Those of you who did.
Okay, so now we're going to go to the mayor pro tem. And I'm going to turn this over to I'm going to turn this over to Mayor Hemmerich.
And we can discuss later how to deal with my difficult last name, Denise, I know. But so now I'm going to open up nominations for Mayor Pro Tem. Councilmember Davis.
I nominate Councilmember McCowan for 2 years.
Councilmember De La Torre.
I nominate Phil Brock.
For 2 years?
For 2 years.
And I nominate Kristen McCowan for the first year and Christine Parra for the second.
Sue, thank you so much, but for reasons previously stated by yourself, I would decline being nominated and considered for 1 year. Thank you.
I also am going to decline being pro tem. Thank you so much, Sue.
Then I will nominate, I'm out of the, I will nominate Kristen McCowan and Oscar De La Torre.
I'll again decline for the same reasons previously stated. Thank you so much.
I won't decline. I would like to share the love.
Well, if we have Denise, I need your advice on this. One declined and one did not.
So Oscar, you nominated Phil for the Mayor Pro Tem position. Did you want to pull that nomination?
No, I got lost. I thought we already voted, but we haven't voted. So I'll stick with my first nomination.
Okay. Okay. So we have Kristen McCowan and we have Phil Brock for the 2 year. Are there any other nominations? I see the interim. Oh, okay. I was going to say I saw the interim city attorney. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call the vote. So it's either McCowan or Brock. Councilmember McCowan.
McCowan.
Councilmember Hemmerich.
I'm the mayor. Don't I go last, Denise?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, thank you, sir. Councilmember Davis.
McCowan.
Councilmember Parra.
Brock.
Councilmember De La Torre.
Brock.
Councilmember Brock. Phil. You need to unmute.
Muted.
Muted, Phil.
It obviously mutes itself. Brock.
Councilmember McKeown.
McCowan.
And Mayor Hemmerich.
McCowan.
Okay. Congratulations, Councilmember McCowan. You are the Mayor Pro Tem for a 2-year interim. And Mayor Hemmerich, I just emailed you the mayor agenda.
I hope that doesn't eat up all my bandwidth, right? Hold on, wait. I don't have it, Denise. Hold on.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and I'll.
Good, if you can, yeah. Oh, wait, I just got it. But if you go ahead and well, let me just.
I'm going to mute everybody. Hold on, everybody who's not Mayor Hemmerich, please mute yourselves.
Go ahead. Now's the time that you would invite remarks from the re-elected and the newly elected council members.
Yeah, so let me invite remarks from the re-elected and newly elected council members. And why don't we start with Council Member Davis?
Well, thank you, Mayor Hemmerich, and congratulations to both you and Mayor Pro Tem McCowan. I just want to thank the community for re-electing me to the City Council. I appreciate the trust that they have placed in me, and of course it is a tremendous honor to have that trust placed in myself. I look forward to serving with all of you in the next couple of years. We have a lot to do. It's obviously a very difficult time, but I think that if we all recognize that the important thing here is what's best for Santa Monica and all of its constituents, that we will be able to pull through these difficult times. Santa Monica is resilient, and our resilience stems from our strong belief in community and our strong values. So I know that we all share the value of making Santa Monica the best city it can possibly be, and I look forward to working for that in the next 2 years. Thanks.
And now we have Councilmember Brock.
I'm sure everyone who is first elected feels excited yet daunted by the challenges ahead. I'm humbled by the support of over 19,000 of my fellow residents in this election. And I also feel the mandate for change that elected Oscar De La Torre, Christine Parra, and myself to sit in this municipal seat of power for the next 4 years. I congratulate them, as well as Kristen McCowan and Gleam Davis, on retaining their seats as well. For those of you in this dais who did not support me during the election, I offer my hand in cooperation to work together for this city that we love. I pledge to work to restore our public safety, dramatically reduce homelessness, stop the overdevelopment of our 145-year-old beachside town, and bring the desires of our residents to the forefront of every discussion in this chamber. I want to reinforce that pledge. Our residents now have a seat at the table of power again in Santa Monica. On a personal note, I know my mother, Beverly, and my partner, Kathy, are watching this broadcast. I hope I will honor both of you during my time on the City Council. Thank you for being there for me. I love you both. I talked about the need for a rebirth of our community in my campaign, and I've spoken often about the fabric and thread that make up the diverse quilt of Santa Monica. All of our residents are part and parcel of this wonderful quilt, and all of us deserve a safe, inclusive city to live in, to work in, and to visit. Our business community are also partners with our residents, and the municipal employees who work hard for our residents 365 days a year are also an integral part of this city's quilt. With sea breezes, palm trees, and enlivened by our diversity, our ocean teems with dolphins, seals, and body surfers. We have palm trees that are the high rises of our city. They must be the only high rises that are built here in the future. I'm a graduate of our public schools. I'm honored to have been a Santa Monica commissioner for almost 18 years and grew up at the Boys Club of Santa Monica. I worked for our parks department, for our public schools, for our private beach clubs, and started with an Evening Outlook paper route. I talked about my history because it shaped me. I volunteered for Kiwanis, Elks, the Salvation Army, the Boys and Girls Clubs, and others because those experiences inspired me to always pay my good fortune forward. In everything I do, it has been about helping my fellow residents. I will continue that mission. As one of my mentors, UCLA John Wooden, stated, you can't live a perfect day without doing something for someone who will never be able to repay you. That is so true. Finally, I've heard each of you, and I encourage all residents to be vocal about what you want our city to be. My door will be open to all residents, whether you voted for me or not. I was elected to help restore the soul and community of our Santa Monica, and I will do my best to honor that. I'm proud to stand besides Christine and Oscar and all the residents of Santa Monica. Time to get to work, wear a mask, save your neighbor's life, help us get through this pandemic. Thank you.
Christine?
Yes, hi, thank you so much. I want to take this moment to thank Santa Monica residents for your vote and support. It's an honor and privilege to represent you. I look forward to working collaboratively with my colleagues, residents, neighborhood groups, and businesses to affect change and move our city in a direction that is more resident-oriented with quality of life issues top of mind. It's my intent to prioritize public safety, homelessness, irresponsible development, and real affordable housing solutions for Santa Monica residents, and look at ways of how we can support our small and local businesses. And last, I'd like to remind our residents that COVID is real and it's affecting our community at alarming rates. It affects every person differently with symptoms that are changing by the hour. I speak from firsthand experience as my family and I are currently recovering from the virus. Please do your part. Stay home as much as possible. Please make sure to wear your mask whenever you step outside to help slow the spread and protect our healthcare system. Thank you so much.
Oscar.
I want to take this opportunity first and foremost to thank my parents, Francisco, who's no longer here with us, and my mother, Candelaria, who came to this country and arrived in Santa Monica from Tepatitlan, Jalisco, in Mexico, to realize the American dream. For their son to be on the city council now is a great accomplishment, not just for myself, but for my family and for my community. I want to thank the voters of the city of Santa Monica, the residents who entrusted me with this great responsibility to represent them, to give them a seat at the table. And I want to thank everyone who was elected, Gleam and Kristen, and Phil and Christine. Thank you. And also, Kevin, I want to thank you for your many years of service. And Sue, congratulations on being mayor. I'm very proud of you. And I look forward to working with you as mayor, as you serving us as mayor. This is a real important thing for us to recognize that 3 incumbents lost to 3 challengers. And it's important to recognize that the residents of this city want change. They want to see improvements to public safety. They want to return to the parks and to our public space. They want to make sure that we deal with the homelessness crisis in a way that's responsible and compassionate, that we serve those people that are struggling in our streets from mental illness and from addiction as a priority, that we bring safety, public safety to our streets, to our community, and so that our residents can thrive and that our small businesses can thrive as well. We need to stop the irresponsible development that's destroying the character of our city. We need to make sure that our public space is protected and that we expand green space for the residents of this city. And that is my commitment. I completed serving 18 years on the school board and also more than 20 years as founder of the Pico Youth and Family Center. My commitment is sincere. I love this city. I love the people in it. I love the young people of this city, the future, and I want to make sure that we do right by them. That we think of every decision that we make, that we think of the 7 generations that came before us and the 7 generations ahead of us. That we think about protecting our Mother Earth. And also that we think about protecting our seniors, who also deserve a seat at the table, especially during these challenging times as they're being disproportionately impacted by this terrible infection and this terrible virus. I want to acknowledge the courage of Christine Parra for being with us here and acknowledge her leadership and her strength as a woman and as a leader in this community. And also Phil Brock for his years of service. I'm very proud to be a part of a slate that will bring change to this city and that will give residents a seat. So I look forward to working with everyone. I want to be collaborative. I want to work in the spirit of goodwill, peace, unity, and social justice. And that's my commitment to you all, and I look forward to working with you all to solve the problems that are affecting the residents and the business community in our city. Thank you.
Thank you, and thanks to all of you. Very inspiring remarks. Kristen, would you like to go?
Sure, yeah, and then we'll, Sue, you'll get to home. So first, I before I get to sort of my very brief remarks, I just want to say that I'm heartened by everything I've heard so far tonight by the re-elected council members and the newly elected council members. I really do believe that if we can put perceived differences aside, I do think that we can all really work together for the residents of this community. I think that is everyone's priority. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity to work with you all, and I want to say congratulations, Oscar, Christine, Phil, and Gleam, and Sue on your and on your re-election, your election, and then Sue on your election to mayor. And then what I wanted to say, it continues to be an honor to serve this community for 2 more years. And I'm honored and humbled for the opportunity now to also serve as your next mayor pro tem. I am committed to continuing to work with all Santa Monicans to help our economy recover from COVID, reimagine our public safety, compassionately address our unhoused brothers and sisters, improve access to affordable housing, and bring about racial justice in our community. To my fellow council members, whether you supported me on November 3rd or not, and even if you didn't support me tonight, I do hope that I am able to earn your support and respect over the course of the next 2 years as we work together to put the residents of Santa Monica first. And lastly, I have to thank my family. They are the most important things in my life. They come first above all else. My husband, Albert, my children, Brooklyn and JP, Justin Paul, and my parents, who we also live with, Don and Anna Marie McCowan. Without their support, none of this would be possible, and I would not be able to survive COVID, that's for sure. So thank you so much. And Kevin, Gleam, and Sue, thank you so much for your support tonight.
Thank you, Kristen. And I too want to thank everyone here for your support. I have been on this council for 6 years. I have never sought a leadership position on this council until this moment, because I think we are at a critical moment for Santa Monica, both because of the pandemic that we all are suffering in and because of the divided nature of our community. People often talk about communications, and let me just say that right out of the box, one of the first things I'm going to do is set up a personal, not a city, but a personal Zoom meeting that I will hold once a week for the residents of this city to hear what you have to say. I'll post the details of the first one on my Sue Stands Firm page and elsewhere on Facebook and other social media. And I will open it up to anyone who wants to speak during these sessions. But I do think it's important that we have a two-way conversation that is very difficult on our current platforms and certainly impossible in our current environment. And I do think that this is crucial for all of you. And I have to acknowledge here the almost 24,000 people who voted for me the last time. And I've never demanded this mayor position or any kind of leadership position because I don't think doing the work requires that you be the mayor pro tem. And I think I've always done the work, and I will continue to do the work and would continue to do the work regardless. I also want to thank our staff who do the work regardless, whether we're here or not, and for all of the work that they've done, and particularly as this situation becomes worse again, to those of us on the front lines who are constantly being exposed to this terrible virus and who are sickened by it. But finally, on a note of personal privilege and just as a general statement, as many of you know, I've lost 2 members of my family in the last 2 months. On October 11th, my father, Samuel Himmelrich, died. He lived a full life. He was 90 years old, and we will miss him, but this is the order of things. But 3 weeks ago, my 21-year-old nephew, Charles Himmelrich, took his own life. And this has changed the perspective of my entire family and the mood of my family and my approach to this job and to the pandemic. I look outside, it's dark. It's not even 7 o'clock. The days are getting shorter. We all are back on lockdown. And the one thing I can say to you as somebody who is herself hurting and has had suffered losses, look around you, reach out to your family, to your friends, to your neighbors, to anyone you know who might have no one, just to say hello, just to be there for them. This is going to be a very, very hard winter with these very short days and long nights and for all of us. And I really implore you, yes, wear a mask, but take care of yourselves and take care of those around you. I think that that is our number one job in this world. And I agree with Kristen that family is important. And I thank my husband, Michael, who stood by me on this. I saw my mother, Barbara Himmelrich, is on this call. But this is about all of us. And I'm not going to say we're all in it together, because the truth is we have it a lot better than a lot of other people. Those of us who can telecommute, who don't have to go to an office, right, and who don't have to put themselves in the line of fire every day. So particularly to those of you who are putting yourselves in the line of fire every day for us, for all of us, I thank you. And if there's anything I can do, everybody has my phone number. Call me, I will try to do it. And once again, thank you to all of you, and have a good night. So now I guess, sorry, I'm not looking, it's hard for me. I'm on one computer with one screen. Oh, we now have our new, I'm sorry. And the next item is we will have random seat selection. So Denise, do we do this before public input?
We can actually wait until the meeting is adjourned and do it. But for now, the Office of Communications has asked that nobody but the council be on the screen, and they need to take a photo. So if everybody can face, because they're going to screenshot this. This is unfortunate given the time. This is your photo, your official photo. So if everybody can face the screen and there's no one else on.
You look good, Oscar.
Oscar, you got to stop moving now.
Oscar, I think you got a haircut. It looks good.
Okay. Okay, so let's just do 3, 2, 1, okay? Okay, thank you all. So now we're going to go.
Public input now. Are there chats, Denise?
We do have callers, but let me go through this. So it's public comment. Public comment is permitted only on items not on the agenda that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city. State law prohibits the City Council from taking any action on items not listed on the agenda, including issues raised under this agenda item. And we have 2 callers. So we're going to ask the handlers to go ahead and pass the callers through.
Thank you.
Transferring Denise Barton.
Denise Barton, welcome to the meeting. Your time starts now.
Good evening. Welcome to our new City Council members. Now, please allow me to comment on the gush fest you had stroking each other for almost an hour at the last City Council meeting. Let's begin with Kevin McEwen. As mayor, he was responsible for the stand-down order given to the police May 31st, 2020, due to the riot and looting. even though I'm hearing rumors that Mayor Pro Tem Terry O'Day was actually the one who made the decision. And we still haven't gotten any kind of after report for that incident that you seem to want to sweep under the rug. But I don't imagine we'll get the real story until after the next election Kevin McEwen runs in. He's also repeatedly tried to take away my freedom of speech at city council meetings, whether it be him talking over me when I'm giving my presentations, to cutting me off saying I'm not speaking on topic when I actually am, then allows others to speak off topic later in the city council meeting, showing nothing else but unprofessionality, targeting, and or discrimination against me. Oh, and on the subject of conflict of interest, why has the city council member Kirsten McCowan not submitted a fully completed 700 form? Is it a secret that she works for Eric Garcetti and the amount she makes? Then what about her husband working for the United Food and Commercial Workers Union? Would that include hotels? By the way, does anyone else think it's interesting that Gleam Davis is still on the city council? Or what about the fact that the city has used the Dominion voting system with Symantec software for the last couple of elections, which is being found to have glitches, algorithms that switch votes, and is prone to being hacked? Might anyone else wonder what length Gleam Davis's husband's employer, Dell, would go to keep their ringer on the city council? Thank you.
Thank you.
Transferring Carlo de la Cruz.
Carlo de la Cruz, welcome to the meeting. Your time starts now. Mr. de la Cruz, are you in the meeting? Your time starts now.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Thank you. I was listening. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. There's a delay, so turn down your computer.
Thank you. I just wanted to make public comment to not only congratulate Mayor Himmelrich, but also to let the City Council know and let the Mayor know that there's an important election happening tomorrow to pick a new member for the South Coast Air Quality Management District Board, representing the western cities for Los Angeles County. A vote for Liz Alcantar, who is one of the candidates running for the seat, is a vote for clean air, environmental justice, and healthy communities. When a Delta jet dumped jet fuel onto elementary schoolyard, as Mayor Cudahy, she jumped into action and she advocated for those most marginalized by environmental injustice and other air quality hazards. So I would just like to urge the mayor to use the voice of Santa Monica to not only stand up for clean air, but ensure that the larger South Coast Air Quality Management District is following Santa Monica's lead and pursuing the best options to reduce our air emissions and clean up our air. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is that it, Corey?
Transferring Olga Turetsky.
Olga Turetsky, welcome to the meeting. Your time starts now.
Good evening. This is Olga Zaraska. I would like to first congratulate the three members of the resident slate on winning their seats. I hope that you will all bring back the much needed two-way communication between the residents and the council, something that was sorely missing during the previous council's tenure. And speaking of communication, I would like to suggest that we move the public comment to the beginning of the open session so that the residents don't have to wait for hours to voice their concerns. If the city of LA can do it, I hope so can we. Thank you. And congratulations again. Good night.
Thank you. And we have one more caller.
Adrian Martinez.
Adrian Martinez, welcome to the meeting. Your time starts now.
Hi, good evening. My name is Adrian Martinez, and I'm with Earth Justice, the nonprofit environmental law firm. I want to welcome all the new city council members and encourage that tomorrow there's an important vote from the LA City Selection Committee for Santa Monica's representative on the South Coast AQMD. And we're encouraging Santa Monica to support Mayor Liz Alcantar from Cudahy because she has a strong record of environmental justice and also will be a strong voice for public health. We hope Santa Monica will select her as their representative on AQMD tomorrow at 9 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you. And that was indeed our final caller.
And to put the council at ease, I already was aware of this vote. So we will not be sleeping at the wheel, so to speak. So on that note, unless there are any more comments, the meeting is adjourned.
And before we end this, I want to go ahead. There's two things. I need to stop talking, and you guys have to take the picture again. And I have to do the seat selection. So let me do the seat selection first.
What's wrong with the picture, Denise? Boy, we all stood still and did whatever, right?
No, but because I was talking, it shows up in the box. So, okay, let me turn on my camera so you guys can see that I'm doing this honestly. Okay, so I'm going to go through and I'll pull a number for you. So let's start with Councilmember Davis. Your seat number 2. So that's from the horseshoe from left to right. Councilmember Para, you're number 1. So you're on the very left.
So does that, when you say left, you mean right to left? What, facing?
Yeah, from left to right. So when you walk into the council chambers, Councilmember Para will be first, Councilmember Davis will be second.
Facing,
and then,
right? So she'll be next to the city attorney.
City attorney, correct.
And,
so
and
Councilmember Para.
I'm sorry, I needed some bearings there.
Okay. So Councilmember Para will be next to the city attorney, and then Councilmember Davis. Okay, Councilmember McCowan, you are in seat number 5. So you are on the left of the mayor. Oh, that works out. Okay, as Mayor Pro Tem.
Did
She'll
you just
be
pull
on
that?
your left. Yeah,
But
I just pulled that.
Wouldn't she be there anyway?
No, the council rules do not
Specify that.
do not say that the Mayor Pro Tem. Okay. So next we're going to go Councilmember Brock. You are number 6. So that means that you're next to Councilmember McCowan. And then, of course, Mayor Himmelrich, you are in the middle. And then we're going to go to Councilmember De La Torre. And what's your number? You're number 7. So you will be next to the assistant city manager, or next to the city manager. I'm sorry. And so then at least Councilmember McKeown, you're in number 3. So you're next to the mayor. Okay. So we will make the adjustments on the agenda. So come the 15th, just to let you guys know, the when we do move back to public meetings, we will have a new AV system. The nameplates will now be electronic, and things are going to be slightly. So that's why we will no longer need those. We now have digital nameplates in the council chambers.
Oh, so I can put it on my door or something? Thank you.
You can. There's no longer a need for those. And so I'm going to ask that interim city manager Lane Dill, if you can step off the camera for a moment. I'm going to stop talking, and they need you guys to take another picture. Hold on, let me turn me off. Okay, go ahead. Okay, thank you all. Okay, now I'm going to turn it back over to you, Mayor Himmelrich, to adjourn the meeting. Or did we already adjourn?
So I'm going to adjourn the meeting for the second time, and I will see everybody on the 15th at 5:30 for our next city council meeting.
Oh, Councilmember McCowan, you had your hand up? Okay. Good night, everybody, and congratulations.
Good night.
Good night.